Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another great edition of my Grue Rume Show. For the Grue Rume Show today, I got two very awesome guests, Keegan and Billy Mac McNamara, and they play Joe and Mark in this new horror film called Healing Towers. And I'm really looking forward to talking to them about the film. I am Rock, I am Rocco Cross. I am the host at Stutters. I am the host of the Grue Rume Show, and my interview with Andrew and Billy will be coming up very soon. This is my Grue Rume, and as always, my gruelings. Welcome to my nightmare. So stay tuned. All right, guys, welcome to Grue. Thank you so much for coming on.
Good
Absolutely.
to be here.
Well, the first question I want to start out asking you guys basically is how did you both find out about this amazing film and be part of it?
Well, it's a good story, that part. I've known Billy for a long time. We probably hadn't talked in, gosh, ages.
Yeah.
And as we were saying that Billy had a call about you were calling about what again? I forget.
Oh, well, at the time when I called you, so we met years ago, a couple times at the church that you used to run or own in Venice.
Mhm.
And there are a lot of really cool spiritual musical events, actually political events. I think Marianne Williamson spoke there one time.
Yep, yep.
Yep. And so I came to that as well, of course. And then I hadn't talked to you in many, many years. My dog got sick. She did pass away, unfortunately, and she had cancer, sarcoma. And so there's all these holistic treatments out there. There's one that this Japanese oncologist invented, and there was a doctor in LA that was doing it. So injecting something called GCMAF right into the gut because it's such a. And I hadn't talked to Andrew in years, but Andrew was talking about this guy that actually did the GCMAF the way the Japanese do it. Otherwise, you have to take a yogurt here. You have to eat it, but a lot gets eaten up by your stomach acids. So I called Andrew out of the blue.
Out of the blue.
See
And I
you.
and I didn't even know it was you. I thought I saw Billy. I'm like, oh, that's got to be my tenant. And so when I answered, I think I probably even said something like, "Hey, what's
Yeah,
going on with the fence?" And you're like, "What?"
right, right. I'm like, no, no, I'm calling you, Billy McNamara. I'm an actor. He goes,
Yeah.
oh, Billy McNamara, what's going on? For a long time, I said, well, my dog is sick, and so then I told him, and
And
unfortunately,
then within the conversation, you're like, "And just let me know if you know of anything going on." And I was like, "Actually, I just read this script, and you'd be great in this role." So I put him in touch, and the rest is now a movie.
yep, yes,
Wow, that's amazing.
yeah, and so. And what I was saying before, I guess I say it again, is that the script is pretty. That was a very unique. I read a lot of horror movies. I do a lot of horror movies, obviously, because that's what's going on. But
Yeah.
this one was very unique in that the treatment. The guy seemed like a genius, and unfortunately, if it wasn't so violent, it is a genius idea. Because I told you guys I've had experience with that, something similar. But it seemed like a genius idea, and so I thought it was a pretty good script. What do you think, Andrew?
Yeah, great. I'm getting a little bit of freezing. Are you guys hearing me okay?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know if it's
you do a little
my
bit.
reception.
Oh,
Wait, what was the question? What was the question again?
The question was, I thought it was a very unique and fairly decent script. What did you think?
I mean, as I was really watching the movie, I was just thinking about how well you brought it to life and how important that character was. Having read the script and having not read the script in a long time, it was really just such a pleasure to see your work in it and how believable it really was. And as we've discussed before, that there are treatments out there, obviously not as dramatized and literal, but there are things that made it actually quite believable in a psychological, thriller genre. So I appreciated that the most. As far as the script, again, not necessarily a genre that I've stepped into before myself, but for those reasons, it was, and working with Billy and Nikki and the whole cast, the director, it was a great experience.
Yeah.
and Billy, like the for playing a role like this, someone who's basically like it's like a self a self self-help guy, and he's running these experiments and trying to get into the head of the pe the people he's experimenting on. And it's a little crazy, but then you can also see like why it's being done. And how do you get into the head of Mark and play him?
Well, like I said earlier in our pre-interview, I guess, I guess, like I said, I'd been privy to that type of similar therapy that I'm sure the writer must have knows about. I can't remember the technical name of it, but it's the use something called the Bataka bat. So people that know about therapy, they'll recognize the name Bataka. It's pretty violent, and what you do is you do family. It's called family sculpting, and you
Hmm.
sculpt out these scenarios from your childhood. And the other group members, you're in a group. It's group therapy with one facilitator, and the facilitator you've already written like an autobiography. So the facilitator knows everything about you. When you show up at the rehab, they know everything about you. And then so they're the director of the so-called scene, and all sorts of trauma. Like my roommate, he had, when he was a child, he discovered his father in the garage hanging himself. It was too late, and he was a little boy, and the father kind of died right in front of him. And so what we do is the group is each one of us plays a character in, and I was, because I was so young at the time, young looking, I played him, and we reenact. It's a reenactment of the actual traumatic scene. And there's really bad stuff that happens to some people. A lot of, incest is a major thing that people hold on to that happens to them. And so you go through this family sculpting scene, and then you have a bataka, and you have this hard foam in front of you, this bat, and you start smashing the bat because it brings up all the anger, and it kind of exercises. It's kind of like a purge. It's a purge. You purge your anger out. So
Wow.
this was the Healing Towers movie. My character. That's why I thought this is based on science. However, we shouldn't kill,
Yeah.
stab them to death. But probably not a good idea.
No.
Why are you're giving away the theme of our romantic comedy, Billy? It's a romantic comedy. Just watch it, you'll
Yeah,
see.
there's a lot of love and romance and comedy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, really, really set him up for this movie.
yeah, exactly.
And Andrew, like it's like the same kind of question basically. Like, you're playing someone who's dealing with the death of his wife. You're grieving, and on top of this, your your kid is missing, and you have to find her. And how do you get into the head of Joe, like someone who's like grieving and trying everything to find his kid?
So I actually do have a daughter who's 9 now. She's actually in the film. She's in the flashback scene. So that's
Oh, get out.
my real 9-year-old. At the time she was, I think, 7 when we were filming. So that was a part of it for me, is just the challenge of how, for any parent, the idea of either having a missing child, losing a child who's been, ill in any way. It's such a heavy, sort of concept to be in that place. So that was a big part of it, like that this character was a dad, and had a
Mhm.
missing daughter. So and then of course, like I said, she was able to be in the movie, so that was really cool. But yeah, I mean, that was the space of despair, loss, obviously, mourning. So the character really was in that sort of bad place, if you will, in a life experience. So yeah, that was the interest on my end, to take on the character of Joe. And again, obviously working with Billy, that was a big coup as well. So we've got to
Of
work and
course,
do a movie together after all these years.
Yeah,
definitely. And we touched a little bit about like the therapy, and I mean, of course, like like you were saying, like you don't go around like stabbing people and turn it into like a bloody thing, but how do you both feel about like this kind of therapy that they show in the movie?
Well, I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't recommend it for therapy, but um, maybe in the future they'll have virtual reality where you could do stuff like that. Maybe it
Hmm.
would be therapeutic. I don't know. Not sure.
That's true.
Yeah, yeah. Or it could make sociopaths or psychopaths. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It could turn into that, right?
yeah, yeah. Psychopaths are us.
Oh my God.
So, but the
And
idea is nice. It's unique and it's. I thought Sujan did a great
Yeah.
job. On the budget and everything. He was very resourceful, and it was a it was a well. This is a nice little movie, actually.
Yeah. It's always hard for us to know. There's so many elements after we leave the set that have to come into play. There's music, there's editing, there's just the rest of the producing that has to happen. So
Yeah,
it's nice to see how it came together, and it really did come out really well. So I'm glad
yeah,
to be a part of it.
yeah, yeah. Me too.
nice. And what do you both love most about playing Joe and Mark?
Um, like I said, for me, the I have played a couple father characters now. Actually, I played one of my first roles in Seventh Heaven was a young father. But being a father, and being able to have the opportunity to do a scene with my 7-year old was actually just, you know, kind of a full circle experience, if you will, to sort of have her there and then to be playing this sort of, character uh going through something that of course would never want to go through in reality. So and that's what we get to do is we get to live out some of these kinds of experiences, challenge ourselves in these roles. And as much as it's something that's so, horrific of an idea across the board, right? Felt like this was something that, as a story, was close enough to, a place that I could go to for this period of, filming and then be able to step away from it. And interestingly enough, it's like, yeah, nobody ever wants anything at all to happen but good things to their children. So it's like, you know, playing this role, sort of getting this out. It's like the Pataka thing. Like now, I feel good that my daughter's going to be even better in life and never gonna go missing. So I played it out already. It can't happen now, so we're good. But yeah,
Exactly.
it is a heavy, of course, not to give anything away in the movie. It is a heavy idea, being a parent, and it goes from full care to a point now at even 9. It's like they're independent, and soon enough, she's going to be out in the world on her own at college or wherever. And
Mhm.
you have to live with that idea that they make good decisions and are very fortunate in the ways that can avoid some of life's experiences. But yeah, so that was what was really interesting to me is that this was a sort of a challenging experience to process having a daughter and all.
Yeah, and for me, playing the psychotherapist, it's always fun, I think, for actors to play, especially a little bit of a psychotherapist. And I think the guy has he would almost he's a genius for sure, and it is a revolutionary type of therapy. So that's fun to play. It's fun to play the doctor, the authority figure, especially the guy that's a little bit off or way off. Uh, and so the more way off, the better for me. I love playing. I don't like playing the straight guy. I'm not very good at it. And I just prefer. I'm like a naturally born over actor. So if there's roles that require overacting, I'm the guy to come to. I love it.
And you were
Nice.
really, really great in it. Like I really just have to say again, I've said it probably too many times now, Billy, but I thought you just killed it. I'm a healer. That line in the trailer is
Yeah,
so good.
yes. I mean, in his mind, he thinks he is a healer.
Oh
I mean,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah,
that's the thing. It was very believable that, you were 100% into this treatment. And it would be interesting to know, like you were saying, it probably originated in in a certain place and then just progressed to like, yeah, why not just let them go free with their fantasies?
exactly. Yeah, yeah. So it's an interesting concept, and I enjoy stuff like that. Yeah,
Nice.
and I'm
And
I'm into psycho. I've been doing therapy since my mom's had me in therapy since I was 6. So I've been going from therapist to therapist to therapist to rehab to rehab to rehab. You know, not so much in the last 20 years because I haven't had a tumultuous life, but so I've been to Hazleton, Betty Ford, the Meadows, Regent Hospital in New York City, all the best places.
all the best place.
Well, for addiction places, really good.
Well, yeah.
And I've had like all the great therapists, Dr. Pat Allen, she's famous, Pia Melody, she's famous, John Bradshaw, he's famous,
Oh, wow.
Dr. Pat Carnes. If you look these people up, you're like, oh my God, they're the pioneers in the field. So I've been around this for this stuff for a long time. So I guess I naturally gravitate towards a role,
Hmm.
um, you know, like Mark.
Really a
Wow.
great role, really a great role for you, man. Like, you know,
Yeah,
it's like you've been training your whole life for this role.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'm so crazy, it's like this is kind of a good idea.
That's that's what I love about it. You're still actually saying like, look, we want to bring healing towers to real life. We really think we got something here as a treatment.
It's the Healing Towers video game.
That would actually be a good video game.
Well, with AI now, you can actually take somebody's face and put it on a body and make that person right there. Like, there it is. There's the ex-girlfriend.
Yeah. And we just wrap it up in the idea that it's therapy. I mean, we might have a new thing here, but we
Yeah,
should talk. Let's talk offline about this.
yeah.
It's actually like, what's interesting? It's completely as we're saying it, I'm like, wait, this could totally literally work. Because of course it's not real, but it
It
would be
is.
simulated real. You can do
Right.
whatever you want. Like you said it in the movie. You can do whatever you want. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, this is a video game. We should have made a video game, not a movie.
Or a
I
whole other,
know.
or a whole other movie. Like you could go to this VR place if you're getting divorced and they put your wife in the room and everything and you do whatever you want to her. We're getting wait, I'm probably gonna get arrested now.
I was about to say we better be careful. We're still recording, right? We might need to edit that last part.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
And is there a certain scene, well, of course, again, without giving away a lot about the movie, is there a certain scene you both had the most fun doing?
Go ahead, Billy.
Well, no, for me, it's the scene. Oh, it's the office scene where I'm orchestrating, watching online, where I'm orchestrating and saying what to
Yes.
do. Like I'm the VO, I'm like the voice of God. I kind of like being the voice of God and having the big screen up. That was or like the Wizard of Oz, the wizard
Yeah,
behind
the wizard behind the curtain.
Yeah, I've always loved that scene in the Wizard of Oz when they uncover the wizard. It's like,
Yes.
just this little
Yes.
window right here. So I kind of like that's my favorite scene for me.
Hey, like I said a little bit earlier, doing a scene with my daughter was just the coolest thing. I mean, it's not that we did a lot, but it was her first time ever being in front of cameras that way. So that for me was that scene, and then there's a scene at the very end with the actress who played my daughter that was
Hmm.
intense. So between those two, I guess one would be a on the light side, and then the other one sort of a mixture, if you will, without giving anything away, a mixture of emotions that were present in that particular scene.
Okay. And how was the set like? Like where did you guys film at? Was it like one area, like a bunch of different areas?
There's a few areas. We were at a actual building downtown, which is what you see as the Healing Towers. We were often up at a house that was one of the producers' houses, so that was very comfortable. Actually, it was a very beautiful house, the one with the
Oh
pool and
no.
everything. And then Billy, you guys hit some other spots up, right?
Well,
Stages.
a lot of my stuff was at that house, the Malibu house up in the hills. Beautiful. That was it was fun and nice and very comfortable, like you said. And then the Healing Towers, I think we used a lot of spaces there because Sujan, I think, is the manager of the building or co-owner of the building. So we got to, and that was near like MacArthur Park, I believe.
Yeah, that's right.
Those are the main two places that I worked at, the Malibu house and then the place at MacArthur Park. And I think that's where those were all the sets because I think we used the boiler room downstairs. I think that was in that building too.
We had a stage that we were at also for a few days, which is where we had the police office, I think, and I think
Oh,
maybe some of the treatments were in some of those stages as well. So there was a few
Okay.
more days there. So, but
okay.
it wasn't too. But you guys did a couple locations outside as well, right? That was probably downtown or MacArthur Park as well.
Yeah.
When you were getting the homeless kid character.
Oh, yeah. That was in the same area.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And did you guys get to like to go out and like grab dinner or did you get to look at the town?
Not me. Well, I live in LA, but not me. But at the time, like I said, my dog was not doing well. So either I brought her to set with me, I was spending every minute with her, or if I couldn't bring her
Mhm.
to set, like when we were shooting at the building, I would race home. As soon as we were wrapped, I was just driving straight back to Santa Monica.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was a kind of a 24-hour thing around the clock with her because she was having
Oh
seizures.
wow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's how my dog just recently passed from that.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So no enjoyment for me. No fellowshipping afterwards at all.
No, definitely makes sense.
Yeah.
And what about you, Andrew? Like, did you go out or anything, like dinner, or did you just like go from the set and that was it?
Yeah, we were, on this particular film. Some films, I think it's a little bit more depending on the theme of what the project is. But I feel like, yeah, from my memory is like it was work. We went up, and again, we were together all day, so we would eat
Yeah, yeah,
together in the
that.
morning and the afternoon. So, I, depending on which day it was, I was scheduled around obviously picking up my daughter at school, and so I had those obligations as well at the time. Um, so yeah, we didn't ever really get to do any big hangouts during the filming, but we should. Billy, you're just in Santa Monica, man. You're around the
Yeah.
corner.
Yeah. I get to piss all the time.
I gotta pop over there and see you one of these days.
Yeah.
Do it.
There you go.
You're creating a reunion, Rocco. I'm
Yeah.
calling
I
you
know, I
Reunion
see that.
Rocco.
Reunion. Reunion Rocco.
New nickname. You've got enough names on there. Rocco, Cross, Grue Rume
Oh,
Show. Oh,
Yes,
Gru.
I
Oh,
Ruru.
it's supposed to like sort of like gruesome show. Is that what Grue Rume?
yes, exactly. Exactly.
Ah, I like it. I like it. Clever.
I didn't want to call it the gruesome show because I don't think I would get a lot of guests then.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's
Ruru.
fair.
And did you guys have like any song list that you both like listening to get into your characters of Joe and Mark? Did you listen to any music on set?
I didn't.
Great question. I know, and of course now I'd have to like review my notes, but I know I had some music playing. Ironically enough, I do remember what it was. It was a song about this is just synchronistic, if you will, but it was a song about a dog, and it comes off. I will have to find the name of the song, but I was listening to it because it's like this really sad song, and there's a video to it as well. And this guy documented his dog who obviously passed away. So that was actually the song that I was, listening to before the one of the last scenes that I did with and again, I'm trying to be careful just in case someone wants to watch the movie. I don't want to give anything away, but there was an
Of course.
emotional scene, and there was a song about a dog that was like that passed away too soon, like a 2-year-old dog.
Mm,
But there was videos, right? So along with the song being really emotional, there was the actual videos. That was the music video. So it got to me, and so that was kind of helpful with an emotional scene.
okay, makes sense. I mean, like losing a pet is so hard. Like it's the hardest, and I know, Billy, you just went through it. I went through it about a month back. My dog was 16 and a half, and one day he woke up and had a seizure, and then the seizures weren't stopping all day, and he wound up passing. And yeah, it's like it's the hardest thing. It really is.
I had a dog in 14 and a half years, and that's exactly how it ended in the senses of like, yeah, you just see that happen, and it's like it's just a couple times, and then that's the sign that it's the time, you know.
Hmm.
It's tough
Yeah.
though because I mean I don't know about you guys, but it's like you have to make that. I had to make that decision to go into the vet. So you're holding your best friend of 14 years, and then it's like this is the moment. So it's like kind of an interesting decision you have to make, right? That this is literally the time we're doing this, but at the same time you don't want to see them suffer, and
Oh no, I know.
you've seen a dog have a seizure. It's horrible. It's just horrible, you know. And that
I
morning, I
know.
spent the morning. It happened in the middle of the night. I remember going out and watching the sunrise, and just spending the last morning together, and just saying this is the day, you know. So, yeah, but
No, yeah. I mean, with me, like it happened so fast. Like by the time I wanted to grab him to bring him to the vet, he was already gone.
yeah. So it just happened quick, and there's all different ways, but clearly the time at that moment. But it did happen quick, which in a way is kind of good. Like I kind of remember it. The seizures kind of happened, and probably Billy the same thing. You're just like it happens a couple times, one, and then they start progressing, and it's like okay,
Hmm.
they're getting worse, and it's just like this is terrible.
Hmm.
Um,
Mm. Well, so I didn't mean
yeah,
to
we
bring
brought it all
all that.
down. I know we
I'm
brought it all
sorry. I'm
down. Let's
sorry.
we gotta find a way off the. We gotta land this ship right now, Rocco. Let's go.
I know. I know. I know. Okay, so what would be both of your go-to karaoke song if you were going to sing one?
Ooh. I'm all about some Red Hot Chili Peppers Under the Bridge Downtown song. That's a good one for me.
I
Some-
like it.
Somewhere over the rainbow from the Wizard of Oz.
Okay. Hey, it's a classic.
Can you really sing that one though? Can you
No,
really?
well,
Okay, good.
can't
I
sing
was
it
like,
off.
for
But
a
I
minute
can't.
with you, Billy, I was like, I could actually see him just belting that out with the perfect, pitch and everything. I don't know. He's talented. He can do anything. Maybe he does.
You never
Well, maybe
know.
that guy, what that beautiful Hawaiian musician used to do the "Somewhere Over the Rainbow" mixed with the Louis Armstrong song. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about? The famous. He was
Oh,
very
wow.
very fat. The famous Hawaiian guy. He played the
Oh
ukulele.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He sings that song "Somewhere Over the Rainbow," and then he blends into the Louis Armstrong song and comes back and forth. It's
Yeah.
just and he does it with
Oh,
ukulele. Beautiful rendition of "Somewhere Over the
Yeah.
Rainbow." Just
Yeah. I've heard that one. I
yeah.
mean, I feel like I just it's like the name Kamalaka, like it's one of those Hawaiian names,
That's
that
right.
I botched half of it. I'm gonna stop there,
That's right. That's
but
right. Exactly.
I love the Hawaiian culture. By the way, that is one of my favorite places in the world. It's
Yeah.
oh,
truly,
nice.
really great.
And like I said, I'm a big horror thriller fan. Like, are there any horror or thriller films that you both love watching?
Um,
It's not a genre that I've watched very much of. I
Mhm.
remember the classics though. There's the Freddy Krueger movies. Even the Gremlins. The
Yes, the
Gremlins
Gremlin.
is like so. I kind of stayed in that space. I feel like they've gotten so, I'll say, gruesome. But this is why I like this film, is because there's the element of it, but it's not gratuitous. It was like
Hmm.
more interesting because it's based on, like we were talking about earlier, something that is believable. And that's the kind of film that I enjoy more, is things like this in the space. But what about you, Billy? You got any horror ones you've watched that you?
Uh, well, no, I'm kind of the old school guy as well. Like The Shining. I'm into the
Yeah,
psychological, the energy of it, as opposed to the gruesomeness. I don't need to
right.
see. I'm not a big fan of blood and knifing and stuff. I don't even
Yeah.
see those movies. I don't watch them at all. No interest.
Isn't that, yeah, we're on the same page with that. I'm like, just like, okay, you've seen one,
No,
squirt
you're
bag of
right.
blood.
You're
Like,
right.
yeah, I want to feel, and then, less is more in this genre. I don't
You're
want to
right.
see it. I want to, like, I'm trying to think of, like, oh, what was the one? Was it the Blair Witch Project? That was a great one. Oh, they fooled me.
I
Even
know.
knowing,
Same.
well, they fooled me because my agent this was back when they had DVDs. He's like, Andrew, he totally set me up. He's like, you got to watch this movie. Like, it's not out yet. It was just said Blair, a literal like white Blair. I was like, okay. So I almost got to the end before I realized, like, wait, how do they have enough batteries for the lights? No, this is bull. Like, but it was like the end. I was like, oh my God, I finally figured this out an hour and a half later. I was lost in that movie. It was horrible. So
Yeah,
good. So
yeah,
good.
was well done, those guys.
That's what I'm saying. Like, right? It's just like that's the balance. And again, like, not to pitch our film too much here to your audience, but there's a nice elements to this in the
Definitely.
story, and you care about the characters, and it's not overly gratuitous.
Right.
Oh no, yeah, definitely, definitely. And I guess like the last thing I'll ask you both basically is where could fans follow you both at?
Great. Um, I am on Instagram. So basically my name's got the little blue star there. So that's probably the easiest place. You, Billy?
Yeah, Instagram, William McNamara 108, or just if you type in William McNamara and you spell it right, McNamara. I usually come up pretty quickly. And yeah, I would say Instagram's the best place.
Awesome. Well, thank you both so much for coming on and doing the show. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you. Appreciate your time. And Billy, good to see you. Let's touch base offline. We'll hang out again soon.
That sounds good. That'd be great.
Yeah, good to see you, buddy. Thank you, Rocco. Take care.
Definitely. Have a good one.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.